Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Billboard Comics' reoccurring feature, Guiding Lines, which I take a look at the upcoming weeks of new releases. This week, I'll be looking at the books that are coming out on December 17th, 2025. Basically, for those who have not been here before, those who have, welcome back, thank you. Those who have not been here before, basically, I look through all the new issues that are coming out, all the books that are coming to a close, any facsimiles that are coming out, and also issues that don't fit into any of those other categories that I think you should have your eye on. I start out every episode with what I consider to be the big book of the week, one I think is the most important or needs most of your attention, or something along those lines. You'll see when we get to it. But, well, why not just get to it now? Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, the big book of the week! I missed an opportunity to doing some kind of intro to that, into this one. Finally, the big book of the week has come back to Guiding Lines. Because this one is going to be a wrestling theme. I could see people clicking off it already. I'm sorry. See you. Bye. Those who stuck around, thank you very much. I'll try to not be quite as idiotic. Unless you like it. Put in the comments if you like how the stupider the better. Put that in the comments to let me know if you watch this and that you like me being stupid. But I digress. The reason why I went to that fake rock entrance promo thing is because my choice for Big Book of the Week this week would be Wrestle Heist, #1. Now, if you can see over here on the logo, that logo is the same font as Pro Wrestling Illustrated, which is a long-time kayfabe magazine dedicated to the world of professional wrestling. So this means it's going to be pretty deep and pretty accurate. Let me describe the premise to you. It's basically about this professional wrestler who got hurt at this one major promotion, and they kind of screwed him over on helping him out of it. As such, he has come back and has a team that's going to pull an ultimate robbery of the actual wrestling event on the night of their actual biggest event. It's Ocean's 11 meets WrestleMania, and I'm all here for it. I grew up from my growing up comics feature that airs every, I think, Wednesday on the site, on this channel. I grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania, and not much to do in northeastern Pennsylvania. It's an old coal town, so it wasn't really, the nearest really good amusement park was about an hour and a half away. We did have smaller ones like Rocky Glen and Hanson's that were about a half hour away, but they weren't really quite as good as the other ones. The big thing the kids did at night was hang around the mall. So for entertainment, we went to the lowest common denominator, and that was professional wrestling. We were the original territory for the WWF, which later became the WWF. Which becomes what is known now as the WWE. As such, I became a big fan of wrestling. I started watching wrestling even before Hulk Hogan dropped the first leg on the Iron Sheik. I remember Pedro Morales and Gorilla Monsoon and Bob Backlund and Superstar Billy Graham and a whole bunch of other earlier pre-rock and wrestling connection WWE, WWF matches. And they would often come around to our local CYC and put on shows. Wrestling was big in northeastern Pennsylvania, and I am not the only one who, in my general vicinity that I grew up in, that became a big wrestling fan. Yes, yeah, I know. It is fake. Yeah, please, by all means. Everybody who likes professional wrestling, well, I should say at least high 87 to 95% of them knows fake. In the sense that they know who's going to win when they go in there. They probably know what they're going to do when they're in the ring. They have it all planned out beforehand and all that. That does not make it any less intensive of a athletic performance. People put their bodies and lives on the line, literally, to entertain wrestling fans all over the world. In that aspect, it's very, very real. it's hard to describe because a lot of people think of me as are kind of surprised when they see this because not to toot my own horn or pat myself on the back. I can't really do that because my rotator cuff is shot. To do with this one, it still hurts. But nonetheless, a lot of people consider me to be relatively intelligent, or more intelligent than some people, or more intelligent than being a watcher of professional wrestling would indicate. And yeah, it's a hard cross to bear to be a wrestling fan in this generation. There has been so much evil, tragic, and disgusting things that happen in professional wrestling that you can't really make a defense of it. However, what I will make a defense of what happens in the actual ring itself. When the storylines are good, when they play the characters, playing their characters to hilt and with the personality that they're born to play, and they cross against another person who's the complete perfect match to beat their opponent, something magic happens. It's just great. I can't even begin to describe how awesome it is. It's high drama, it's melodrama, it's art, it's everything like that. You could wrap into it, and I will stand on that hill and die on that hill if I need to. It's hard to actually defend it as much as I would like to because of all the crappy things. Because every, Bret Hart, Steve Austin Iron Man match, or Ricky Steamboat, Randy Macho Man Savage match, I could tell you about classics of the whole art form. There's the whole Chris Benoit slayings and the death of Owen Hart that really shouldn't have happened, and add on and on and on and ad infinitum. The base minimum that happens to pretty much every wrestler is they get screwed over by the promoters in one way or another. The most famous one is, of course, the Montreal screw job, where Bret Hart, the aforementioned Bret Hart, was screwed over by Vince McMahon because Vince McMahon thought he was going to take the championship belt, the WWE championship belt, over to WCW because he was starting a contract over there. So he decided to, rig it so he lost without telling him, and fisticuffs ensued backstage. So I'm sure like events like that, and that's just the indicator of big and little things that happen that were the management of wrestlings in all the territories throughout the history of wrestling have done to wrestlers all in all. So that is the kind of thing that is actually kind of, it's kind of like what this book is kind of based on. A lot of times you see stories about wrestlers who just got like overlooked by management or like kind of like thrown away when their time was up, or didn't play politics quite as well as certain other wrestlers, and so their careers didn't go quite as far. And you always think to yourself, I wish these guys could have like one moment of sun, or gets like stick it to the man one more time. Here's the comic book for you that has a wrestler sort of like that, who is going to stick it to the man. At least that it seems like in the actual solicitations. I don't know how it's going to be. I did pick it up and put it on my pull list, so I will see soon enough, probably next week. But yeah, that's one of the things about this. If you're a fan of wrestling, you should this might be already on your pull list. If you're not, you might not have any pull list, but you might want to consider it, because if it taps into half the drama that is involved in the world of professional wrestling and does it adequately, it's going to be a pretty entertaining read, no matter what. It's going to cost you $3.99, which is relatively cheap, all things considered. In this economy, that's the lowest price for comic books around. For 32 pages, you're not skipping on the pages either. We'll get to some later that you pay a lot more for a lot less. And it's going to be only looks like a 5-issue miniseries, so not a lot of investment of your time. Writing, art, and cover will be by Kyle Starks, and the colors will be by Vladimir Popov. There'll be 2 open order covers, a cover B, which is blank, which could have your favorite wrestler being drawn by, say, Jim Lee on it, if you want to pay $500 to have him draw Mick Foley on your comic book. That the saying, I won't tell anybody that if I win the lottery, but you'll know. And one of the things you know, I'll probably get that off of Jim Lee. if he'll do it. On cover D will be a Kyle Starks Youngblood team-up. Image is doing this a lot because Youngblood is coming back. Also, I'm not covering here, but Youngblood also has a Treasury reprint of their new first issue. I didn't put it on here because I've already covered the first issue, so same stuff. Why repeat it? But if you can look out for that too. But I digress. But that's part of stuff that most Image books are having. They're having the team up with the cast of the book and Youngblood on the same time. There'll be one incentive, a cover C, 1 in 10 by Jesse Lonergan. Next, let's go on to new issues. All right, starting off with Marvel. Marvel has, and this one I almost thought about putting as the number one, the big book of the week. It is one of Marvel's biggest characters and a new direction for him. But I'm too much of a wrestling fan to let that Wrestle Heist go. This one is Black Panther, Intergalactic number 1. Intergalactic? Planetary? No, Planetary, Intergalactic. Jazz and AWOL, they're my team. I'm sorry, I just love that song. That's a great song. Every time I hear the word Intergalactic, I think of Beastie Boys. It's sickness. All right, it's going to be $4.99 for 32 pages, and it's going to be a 4-issue limited series. It'll be written by Victor Laval, art by Stefano Nessi, colors by Brian Valenza, and the cover will be by Cafu. It'll be supported by 3 open order covers, one by Delio Diaz, one by Greg Land, Black Panther variant, Luciano Vecchio, Winter Break variant, and there will be 2 incentives. 1 in 25 by ACO. That's just the name they gave. I don't know if it's initials or what, or it's pronounced ACO. Or no, I'm not going to go there. And a 1 in 100 of the Greg Land Black Panther variant cover, but a virgin. Next, we're going to move on to Antarctic Press. It looks like they're doing a reprint of a manga by Morarune Kobayashi. It's Goblin 522, number 1. $4.99 for 24 pages, and it's going to be a one-shot. Art, writing, and the cover will be done by Kobayashi. It involves like a fighter pilot over Vietnam, and it looks like kind of like a classic manga from the 70s. That's just from my outsiders looking for my limited knowledge of manga, so take that with a grain of salt. Next up, AWA. Aggie number 1. $6.99 for 48 pages. It's going to be a one-shot. Written by Mark Russell. Pencils and cover by ACO. ACO again. Inks by David Lorenzo. And the colors will be by Ive Svarlina. DC has another one-shot featuring a battle from their ongoing DC K.O. series. It's going to be DC K.O. Harley Quinn versus Zatanna. Number 1. $49 for 48 pages, a one-shot. Why is this 48 pages? This should be 2 pages. It should be introducing the characters. They come into the battlefield. Zatanna says, Durf, Harley's ready. Which is like, explode, and Harley's head will explode, and, Zatanna will move on to the next match. That's what we should do if they actually followed the logic and reasoning of the actual power sets they give the characters. Zatanna is so much more powerful than Harley Quinn. There shouldn't be even any close approximation of a fight here. Even including the fact that, Harley Quinn picked up some magical doohickey in the DC K.O. number 1 that she carried with her. Or was it number 2? Probably not, DC K.O. number 2, that she's carrying to kind of even the odds a little bit. It should be this close. But I would probably, I am about 80% sure that it's going to be Harley Quinn winning this because she's the far more popular character. I mean, they're probably going to set up a fight between her and Joker at some point. I hope it's not this predictable, and I hope that I'm wrong, but I could be wrong. There's a short chance because Zatanna has a series coming out in the new year, like there's announced at New York Comic Con, so they might be giving her the win just to give her a little edge towards that end goal. But so place your bets accordingly. It's going to be written by Leah Williams, art by Mirko Andolfo, colors by Romulo Fajardo Jr., and the cover will be by, as all these are, by Jorge Corona. There'll be 4 other covers to go along with this. A cover B by Frank Cho, a cover C by Jamal Campbell, cover D by Mirko Andolfo, cover E by David Nakayama. That's a pretty good lineup of creators. And Jamal Campbell is the person who wrote and drew the last Zatanna miniseries that just ended a couple weeks ago. Next up, we have not only the first one from Dynamite, but our first Christmas-themed tie-in book. I'm surprised that we lasted this long, but I just go in the order as how it appears on the League of Comic Geeks site. It's Dynamite's Thundercats Holiday Special. Honest to God, that's how it says. Ho! Exclamation point, bracket, Liday, bracket, special. How else would you say it? And besides, it's more fun. Say it with me. Say it with me. Thundercats Holiday Special. It just fills you with glee and joy. I feel happy. I feel buzzed. I feel like I can take on the world. It's going to be $5.99 for 40 pages. Yes. 8 pages more than the, what was it? The Wrestle Heist. And for $2 more. Dynamite has to get out this whole bankruptcy thing that Diamond put them into somehow, so I'd be willing to overlook it. But anyway, I digress. It's going to be written by Ed Brisson, art by Fabio Gallo, and the cover will be by Sebastian Perez. And this being Dynamite, there will be variant covers. Not quite as much as they had in the past, but still. 4 open order covers. Cover B by Fabio Gallo, cover C by Bob Quinn, cover D would be a blind bag variant. They're having a blind bag for this. One of the blind bag variants is going to be a blank version, which is kind of like somewhat defeats the purpose of a blind bag. You're supposed to get like a very fun incentive cover, probably a foil or something like that, and you're getting something that has nothing on it. But they do sell blind covers, so maybe that is a draw for a blind bag. I do not know. And cover E will be a Sebastian Perez Metal Virgin. There will be 3 incentives. Cover F will be 1 in 10 Bob Quinn Virgin. Cover G will be a 1 in 15 Fabio Gallo Virgin. Cover H will be a 1 in 20 Sebastian Perez Virgin. Next up, we have Mad Dog. Mad Dog has a new series come out, The New Space Age, number 1. $4.99 for 32 pages, and it's going to be a 5-issue series. It'll be written by Kelly Porter. Art and cover will be by Mike Becker. Colors will be by Kevin Benton. And letters will be by Buddy Bedouin. There'll be 1 open order cover, cover B by Kari Randolph, and 1 incentive, a cover C by Daniel Warren Johnson. I forgot to write down exactly what it is, probably 1 in 10, maybe. Next up, Xenoscope. Yes, and if you hear the word Xenoscope, we're pretty much towards the end of the brand new releases. We do have quite a few of the, let's try this again, which I'll handle in a second after I'm done with this. But yeah, so it's really low week for this. Maybe, I don't know how this is. This is my first time doing it around Christmas time, so maybe this is the pre-holiday lag. Like, they don't have a lot of stuff out. A lot of stuff are coming to an end, though, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Xenoscope has Grimm Fairy Tales 2025 Holiday Pinup Special, number 1. I thought every Grimm Fairy Tale was a pinup special. $5.99 for 40 pages. It is a one-shot. This will have 1 original story, and for a change, we actually get creator information in the blurbs for Xenoscope. They never put it in here, so let's be thankful. We're a little bit after Thanksgiving, but nonetheless. Written by Noah Mitchell and David Wall. Art by Ricardo Osanya. Colors by Max Flan Arujo. Letters by Taylor Esposito. Cover by J. Cardi Grade. There'll be 2 other covers. A cover B by Igor Vitorino and a cover C by Josh Burns. That is, like I said, the last new issues. Very, very short week this week. There are some others, like it's a Marvel Rivals and another one that's basically a reprint of something that happened before. I don't cover reprints. I don't cover stuff that's kind of like taken off of the website. So that's why we're so low. If you have an issue with it, take it up in the comments, and I might change the way I do this, but probably not. But nonetheless, let's go on to, for the new releases, let's try this again. All right, in case you are not familiar with this section, again, like the newcomers out there, I try to cover everything that is coming out or ending and everything every week and put it in here. But sometimes they don't come out on the week they're supposed to, the first issues or the final issues or whatever. Instead of doing the whole rigmarole again, where I list all the covers and all the artists and all the stuff like that, I just tell you what's coming out, the company, and the date that it first appeared, so you could go back and look at what I originally said. I like to try to have these as a nice, tight kind of thing. I'm trying to tighten it down. Tighten it. So this is part of my way of doing that. Detective Pickle, P.I., number 1. I knew a title that great was not going to come out on time. I just knew it. The gods would not allow it to come out on the time it was supposed to. I covered it back on September 3rd, 2025. It's put out by Cosmic Lion. So if you want to kind of like I said, go back to that the weekend new releases for the week of that date in the actual listing of actual videos of this segment, and you'll be able to find what I said about it back then. Next up is one from last week. One from Asylum Press. Zombie Terrors. Undead Special number 1. This, of course, is one that I mentioned that was supposed to come out on Halloween, and did not come out on Halloween. And just to prove its point, it's not coming out last week either. Probably won't come out this week either. We'll probably have this on a couple weeks. But yeah, so if you're looking around last week for it, it's not there. Maybe it'll be there this week, but probably not. Take it what you will. This is the bane of the indie comic book publisher, or at least covering them at least. And next up are 4 old friends from Udon. This have appeared, I believe, several weeks already on this. Let's try this again thing. I'll go through it quickly. Mega Man Legends Timelines number 1, 10/5/25 was the first time I covered that. Mega Man ZX Timelines number 1. I covered that first on the new releases for the week of September 10th, 2025. Street Fighter Masters Elena number 1. From Udon, I covered that on the new releases for the week of 10/22/25. And Street Fighter Masters Guile Udon. This is the one I covered on my very first episode of this segment, way back in March 26, 2025. I am pulling for that to just not come out for a full year after it was originally listed here. And, maybe I'll have a party. Have meats and cheeses. All right, let's move on to the biggest section this week, and it is quite big, the final issues. We're going to start off with Image. Image is bringing back Artificial to an end with number 4. $3.99 for 32 pages. Art, writing, and cover all done by Maria Lovett. There'll be one open order cover, cover C by Maria Lovett, chest wound variant, and there'll be one incentive, a cover B, a 1 in 10 by, you guessed it, Maria Lovett. She did everything for this. Did she do lettering too? She probably did. I do like her work, what I've seen of it. This is kind of like a interesting take about like the whole, almost like the movie that just came out this year, Companion, but completely different, about being able to hire a boyfriend for yourself, a robotic boyfriend when you want to, and the pits and perils and stuff like that. So I found it interesting, but I read the first issue interesting. 2 and 3 came out like the same week, like within a week of each other. I haven't gotten around to, I'm a little bit behind on reading that, so I didn't read those. But it might be worth your time to pick this up, or wait till it comes in trade in a couple weeks. Moving on to Marvel. Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, number 15. A rare book that got to 15 issues. A Marvel book that got to 15 issues, usually they end at 10. How can this be? $3.99 for 32 pages, written by Jed MacKay. Art by Domenico Carone. Colors by Rochelle Rosenberg. Letters by Corey Pettit. And the cover would be by David Paratore. There were 2 other covers, a Bjorn Beren's nullified variant and a Dev Armanek foreshadow variant. I looked at foreshadow, I don't know exactly what it's foreshadowing, but I found this, I read this is when I was reading on a consistent basis. I thought it was decent. I've had better Moon Knight stories, I've had worse, so it's pretty decent. I'm still sorry to say here it go. I think it had an interesting cast, an interesting take on the characters, and a whole bunch of stuff like that. So who knows? It might be coming back. Sometimes it happens. There's no Moon Knight books listed for next month, so it's going to take at least 1 month off. But we'll see if anything comes back up in the future. Now I'm going to come to the whole bunch of Age of Revelation titles that are coming to an end this week. As you know, the X-Men crossover is slowly dying down and will officially be coming to an end. And all the tie-in miniseries are now ending because they're going to have 3 issues. So, without any further ado, let's start with X-Men, Book of Revelation, number 3. $4.99 for 32 pages. Written by Jed MacKay. Art and cover by Netho Diaz. Inks by Seth Parsons. Color for the interiors and the cover will be by Fernando Cifuentes. Letters by Clayton Cowles. And the cover inks will be done by J.D. Naylor. There were 2 other covers, one by Fabrizio De Tomaso and one by Ivan Shavin. Radioactive Spider-Man is coming to an end as well, number 3. $3.99 for 32 pages. Written by Joe Kelly, art by Kev Walker. Colors by Chris Sotomayor. Letters by Joe Caramaga. And the cover will be by Giuseppe Camicoli on pencils, Lorenzo Bucatello on inks, and Maury Hollowell on colors. There were 2 other covers for that, also Kreese Lee and one by Mike McCone. Rogue Storm is coming to an end with number 3. $3.99 for 32 pages. Written by Marina Ayotele. Art by Roland Bosky. Colors by Niraj Menon. Letters by Travis Lanham. And the cover will be by Humberto Ramos on art and Edgar Delgado on colors. There will be 2 other covers to go along with this. One by Ben Harvey and one by Nimit Malavia. The Last Wolverine will come to an end with number 3. $4.99 for 32 pages. Written by Saladin Ahmed. Art by Edgar Salazar. Colors by Carlos Lopez. Letters by Corey Pettit. And the cover will be by Martin Coccolo on art and Matt Wilson on colors. It will also have 2 other covers, one by Lenio Francis Yu and one by David Sequeira. Wrapping up the Age of Revelation final issues is Omega Kids, number 3. $3.99 for 32 pages. Written by Tony Fleeks. Art by Andres Ganole. Colors by Fernando Cifuentes. Letters by Travis Lanham. And cover by Rod Reese. There will be 2 other covers. One by Adam Polina and another by Salvatore LaRocca. And the next one proves that the 10 count that Marvel is known for, as I like to call Marvel's practice of letting a book get to 10 issues before canceling it, doesn't just apply to their mainstream books. It also counts to their, well, it's not really a license, but because Disney owns the company, but to their sister company tie-in books. Because Star Wars Jedi Knights is coming to an end with number 10. $3.99 for 32 pages. Be written by Mark Guggenheim. Art cover will be by Malibiek Muspekov. Colors will be by Luis Guerrero. There will be 2 opener covers, a Dan Jerkins classic homage cover, and a Torrin Clark lightsaber variant. And one incentive will be a 150 of that Torrin Clark cover, only a virgin. Next up, we have DC. DC is bringing Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum, number 5. To an end with number 5. $5.99 for 32 pages. Written by W. Maxwell Prince. Art and cover by Martin Morazzo. Colors for the interior issue and the cover will be done by Chris O'Halloran. There'll be 2 other covers. A cover B by Juan Ferreira. At cover C, Alex Furman Lon. Dynamite has a issue coming to an end. Gargoyles, Demona number 5. $4.99 for 32 pages. Written by Greg Weisman, creator of the Gargoyles cartoon. Art by Frank Parr. And a cover by Megan Hetrick. There'll be 5 open order covers. A cover B by Jay Lee. Cover C by Frank Power. A cover D by David Cousins. Cover E of Megan Hetrick, Metal Virgin. And cover F will be just a regular Megan Hetrick Virgin. There'll also be 4 incentives. Cover G, a 1 in 10 by Jay Lee, black and white variant. Cover H will be a 1 in 10 by David Cousins Virgin. Cover I will be a 1 in 10 by Frank Power Virgin. And cover J will be a 1 in 5 Jay Lee Virgin. IDW has another thing coming down in their Monster High franchise, which they keep on cycling through. So there's always a Monster High every week. Don't worry about that. This one's closing. There'll be probably one starting next week. The ones it's ending is Monster High World Scare number 5. $4.99 for 32 pages. Written by Jackie Aye. Art by Caroline Shuda. Colors by Catherine Shuda. And the cover will be by Felicia Hankata. There'll be one other cover. A cover B by Lisa Sterling. Only is bringing to end their Christmas-based miniseries just in time for Christmas. Getting underneath the wire there. Got a full week before you have to do that. It's Yuletide, number 3. $6.99 for 40 pages. Written by George Northey. Art by Rachel Aragno. And a cover by Ito. There'll be one open order cover, a cover B, Rachel Aragno cover. And there'll be one incentive, a 1 in 10 from Ito, but a virgin cover. Dark Horse has 2 comics coming to an end this week. First one, Nocturnals, The Sinister Path, number 4. $4.99 for 32 pages. Writing art and cover by Dan Burrington. He's the creator of the concept. Way back in the 90s, I think he first created it. And letters will be by Lois Buhalis. There will be 2 other covers. A cover B by Adam Hughes, and a cover C by Zveta Subina. They're also bringing to end The Adventures of Lumen N with number 4. $4.99 for 32 pages. Written by James Robinson. Art and cover by Phil Hester. Inks will be by Mark Deering. Colors by Bill Crabtree. And letters by Jim Campbell. Ahoy is bringing together to an end Ancestral Recall with number 5. This sounds a lot familiar. I might have covered it already. I couldn't find it in my notes. I went back a couple weeks. So if I've already covered this, I apologize. I'm not deliberately violating my rule to not cover these stuff. I do it accidentally. So we'll see. If it did, if not, then it's the first time, then forget anything I said. It'll be written by Jordan Clark. Art and cover by Adigan Ilhan. AMP has a book coming to an end. The Dusk, number 4. $4.99 for 24 pages. Written by Alex Segura and Elizabeth Little. Art by David Hahn. Cover by Dennis Calero. Now we're coming to the Let's Try This Again for these final issues. We have 1 issue in that, so let's get to it after the little title card. Again! Rebel Moon, Nemesis, number 4, by Titan. This is the comic book tying into the Netflix film that was done by Zack Snyder, which I think aired first on Netflix 3 or 4 months ago. So this is finally coming to an end. It originally was supposed to come to an end on October 14th, 2025, and I think this is the second time it has featured in this subsection. So if you want to find out what I had to say about it, go back to the new releases for the week of October 14th and make yourself at home. We do have 1 issue of note to make note of.
This looks interesting.
Titans, number 30. The reason why I bring this up is just to alert you that if you are following the DC K.O. series, and you haven't been paying attention to the solicitations, there's another fight in this issue. It is going to be Teen Titans, Titans member, he's no longer a teenager, Cyborg, facing off against Swamp Thing. Might be a little closer match on paper than the Satana Harley Quinn match is, but it should be interesting if they actually play into the whole technology versus the environment kind of thing. That might be a good thing to actually discuss and make a comment on. Not that they're going to go into it at all or very deep if they do, but make up your own subtext and for that if you want to. It's going to be $3.99 for 32 pages, written by John Layman, art and cover by Pete Woods, and the colors will be by Bruno Abies. There'll be 4 other covers for this one. A cover B by Brad Walker, a cover C by Mark Spears, a cover D by Edwin Gallman, and cover E by George Cambadias. All right, we come to our final segment of the week, and it has been a short week, thank goodness. A little Christmas present came early for me for this. So let me just get right into it so we can end this gracefully. Facsimiles. All right, there are 3 companies with facsimiles this week. Not too heavy. I can handle it. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Start off with DC Comics. It's going to be Facsimile A Sensation Comics number 38. It appears to be, I don't know if there's any really historical significance to this, other than it being a Christmas cover. And you can see the cover that was up there just a couple seconds ago. It's one woman helping Santa by delivering a whole bunch of presents, about to be shot by a bad guy. Dude, you're ruining Christmas for a whole bunch of kids. Wait to shoot her till after she delivers the payment presents. Come on, man. Everybody says the 30s was a better time. Look what happened. Look right there. This will have 3 variants to choose from. One, a facsimile, which is basically looks exactly like how it did when it first appeared on stands. There's going to have a foil, which is the same book, only with a metallic foil cover on. I'm not going to put a thing up there because usually the League of Comic Geeks doesn't put a different cover up for the foil. And they're also going to have a blank variant, so you could do the picture of 10 seconds later after Wonder Woman cleans that guy with the gun's clock. Marvel is continuing to reprint its Civil War miniseries in facsimile form with number 5. This will also have 3 covers. The regular facsimile looks like the main cover. The alternate, back in the day, Michael Turner cover will be also printed, but on the foil variant. And there will be a completely different, new variant cover on 125 done by Pete Woods. And our final facsimile of the week is going to be from Boom! VR Troopers / Power Rangers flipbook. They seem to do one of these every time an issue of the new VR Troopers book comes out, so it's not a surprise. There have been 2 already, and these correspond with the same being released. They only come out with just a facsimile, so there's nothing else, no foils, no variants, no nothing. So if you're a fan of either of those properties and you didn't get them back when they came out, or you weren't born when they came out, here you go. So that's it for this week. What do you think about the new releases? Do you think were you a fan of wrestling? Are you looking forward to Wrestle Heist? Do you hate wrestling with a passion that burns brighter than the sun? Do you think Black Panther should be the book of the week? What books that I cover are you most looking forward to? Which one do you wish that our ending weren't? Please put anything in a comment and start a conversation. I'd love to hear that. I will try to jump in as much as possible. Sometimes I don't really have anything to say because, a lot of times people say stuff that just good to stand on its own, and anything I could say would probably not do what which person said any good anyhow. But if you do want to get into discussions, go in there and that'll be fine. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. I do this every Friday. It's very labor intensive, and I would really appreciate it, especially with the Christmas holiday coming up. I would really appreciate you to get me the gift of subscriptions and likes and comments and shares too if you want to, but likes and subscriptions are the only thing I'm really asking for. So hope you have a good day. I think the next installment of this will be after Christmas, so if you only watch this, Merry Christmas if that's what you support, and also Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus, whatever you celebrate, don't want to leave anybody out. Have a good one. And until I see you again, keep on collecting.